where am I going with this? Hey MinnDak, this is your bulletin editor, GoJBang here, and today I'm going to talk about Club Publicist. So let's get into it. As a club publicist, you have your weekly duties, your monthly duties, and your annual duties. So let's get into our weekly duties first. Weekly duties. So as a publicist, you have a duty of attending all meetings, or any meetings that you can make to, such as the board meetings, general meetings, advisor meetings, committee meetings, any of those, because it's really important for you to be there and take notes. Know that what happened recently, like the recaps, and know the upcoming events, know what the future plans are, anything you guys have in mind, like your goals to raise this amount of money, or to have this amount of people to come, or spread the awareness, kind of like know the purpose of your events, really, which is good. And then you should spread the information to other key clubbers that maybe don't come to the meetings, or that want to get involved but just haven't gotten involved. Tell them about your club. So you should always be updated with what you guys are doing, the purpose of it, and any background information you really need. You can make announcements not just by going over the microphone and being like, Key Club has this meeting. It's you can make posters, you can make social media updates, posts, that stuff. And then you can also be in charge of a bulletin board. Bulletin boards are super helpful because it's kind of somewhere all students can go and go look at it. So you could be in charge of that if you are able to have one. So yeah, those are just a couple of the weekly duties. Monthly duties. So as a publicist, you have your monthly duties. I have to emphasize is sending in newsletters or articles and pictures to your LTG or your bulletin editor, which is me. So yeah, this is due on the 10th of every month. Usually it's a recap of the previous month and all the events you guys did, whether it's recaps, upcoming events, new info, stuff like that. So yeah, those are really important to send in. It also counts for your distinguished binder. I mean, hint hint, wink wink, nudge nudge. So yeah, this really important. And also, if you have a webmaster, a monthly duty that you should do is contact them, talk to them, communicate with them, to kind of be on the same page or basis, or sorry, base, to kind of know what your plans are, whether it's to update the social media, or to make more posters, for advertisement, and so if you have a webmaster, you guys kind of share the same job. Now the LTG contacts their president. So you might not always be getting the same information, or you might not be contacting the LTG at all. But if that's the case, always talk to your president, give them the information so the president can contact the LTG. Or you could just take the initiative and contact the LTG yourself and be like, yo, this is what my club is doing. This is a cool project. I want to share it. Or you could do that to me too, because yeah. So LTG, bulletin editor, need to communicate with them. Yeah. Annual duties. So as a duty, you have the responsibility of reading the Key Club Editor Guide or Publicist Guide, depending, which you consider yourself. And this guide goes into details about your job, any helpful tips, resources that you could use as an editor or publicist, whichever name you kind of prefer. So yeah, this is really important because this video doesn't cover every single thing, but this is a general idea. But within the guide, it gives you a lot more information and a lot more details. So yeah, make sure to read that. And training. It's super important to get training done. As a publicist, you have a lot of duties. You're kind of the one that gives out information. You're the one that's going to make posters, make posts on social media, or any of that stuff. So it's important for you to get trained and learn learn what resources you have and how to execute certain things, such as newsletters, by the way. Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, as a publicist, you are kind of the one that makes the visuals. You make the posters and all that stuff, like I said. And since it's a visual thing that you can actually see, it's good to kind of keep the material of everything, whether it's like a pamphlet that you made for your club, or a mini post on social media, or if you have those giant posters that you make, banners, make sure to take a picture of those to put it in your binder. And this binder is filled with all your accomplishments, all your achievements, all the things you've done throughout your term. and you can collect this all together and organize it, and then you can send it to the MinnDak district to get judged and looked at for you to become distinguished publicist. And distinguished publicist is a really cool, it's a nice achievement to kind of be like, yes, I did good this year, I did good for my term, you know, because publicists, I know you guys work really hard. I mean, every officer works really hard, but you know, sometimes you guys don't get the acknowledgement, and it's good to get acknowledged for this. So yeah, a binder is a great idea, you know, send it to MinnDak. You don't want to get distinguished, or you're just like, nah, I don't want to do that. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I just really encourage it. But this binder, okay, so you can also collect all the stuff, like I said, and put it into a binder, or, you know, just a big box of your collection, and kind of like give it to the next publicist, because every publicist, like, kind of like, you know, don't always know what to do. So like, if you give them this like resource box binder, then, you know, they can be like, oh, so this is what you did, this is what I could do, and give them the resources they could use, really. And another annual duty is to create a system for like the next publicist and for you to kind of use during your term. And this is kind of like a system of like, create newsletters on the 1st and then finish it by the 10th of the month and then send it in. I was a club publicist before, and I have some helpful tips for you guys. So one of them is to plan ahead. Have a planner and write down all the due dates. Write down all the events. Write down anything that that's important and that you kind of have to remember, because, you know, it might just come and then it might just hit you in the head and you're just like, wow, I did not expect that. I didn't know this was happening. It's like, yes. And another tip is to have a committee. Have the extra help that you need. You're only one person, and, you know, sometimes you can't do every single thing. You know, I'm not saying that you like have a committee and they do all your work for you, but like, you know, just in case you needed someone to make a poster or make announcements, you won't be the only one to be relied on. So yeah. And my third tip is to find a software for your newsletters. So like I've mentioned before in the video, you are in charge of newsletters or articles and pictures. So find a software where you know how to work and you can have access to it at home, at school, you know, anywhere, so you can just make your newsletters. And softwares can include Google Slides. That sounds weird, but it works, guys. You just kind of have to like change the format. But there's also Google Docs you guys can use, although it's kind of limited, I do have to say. Like, you can't always add text box. I don't know. So yeah. But there's also Word, Microsoft Word. That's what I started on, and it's like really good. What else? There is Adobe Illustrator. That's like a lot more like technical stuff. I don't know, like, yeah. If you have it, use it. Just, yeah. Okay, so an overview. So as publicists, you have a lot of duties. You have your weekly, your monthly, and your annual duties. Remember to make your newsletters, turn them in on time. And remember, newsletters don't have to be like extravagant, you know, have to be like 20 pages. Sometimes they can just be 1 or 2 pages and just, you know, simple recaps and upcoming events that you guys really have. What else? Contact your LTG, your bulletin editor, me. Let them know what you guys are up to, your club, you know, any plans you guys have ahead. Tell your club or make announcements about upcoming events, like our district events. I mean, there's DCon, which you guys should attend. Hey guys! And special thanks to our Public Relations Committee and Membership Committee from the MinnDak District. You guys are just the best people in the world. Okay, and special thanks to our International Trustee, Hannah Navarre, for her amazing guides on how to be an editor and, like, you know, publicist, and yeah. You guys are all so helpful, and if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to make these videos. So yeah, thank you guys.